Good morning, good morning, YouTube viewers. Good morning, Facebook Nation. Good morning to all people, all colors, all races, all languages around the world. No matter where you are on the face of, may you have the most beautiful day. May you have an awesome day. And for whatever goals that you have set forth for yourself on this day, may those goals come to fruition. So I'm back for, and this video is it's going out to Miss M. You requested a video about 2 months ago. You DM me. So, like I explained in the DM, I never really just to come out here and to say things. This is why I'm not the social media type person. And anyone that knows me, which you do, know that I'm not even on Facebook. So, I'm not a social person. So, when I speak, I'm speaking from things that I've personally researched as well as experience, through life experience, which I've experienced a lot. Every last one of the videos that I've ever done. This is why I always tell people, something happens even today. Go into one of my videos and I can guarantee I was saying back then and explaining why these things are happening and what is going on and how to deal with yourself as well. Self-help stuff, how to, for you to become the person that, you need to be. So, Ms. M, this is for you. It's a little late, but like I said, the only time that I work on light and I work on vibration. So if that light doesn't come to me to do it, then I can't do it. So even in my videos, my past videos, that's not me trying to just do things. It's the ascension and where I'm going, which ties into, I get to see tomorrow. I'm coming your way as well. I'm coming your way. And I'm going to give you a call before I leave from, the city. But I was saying, his wife she's gonna call me by my old name, because that's how they always knew me. And I was, trying to think about how to say it in a nice way. There's no way because there is no short answer for that. So just to say that, so it's easier just to, just let it go. And it is who I am. And okay, you call me by, my name, but you'll start calling me by my name because her husband is my best friend. He, it was hard for him. So this is what I'm going to say to her instead of explaining, why I changed my name. But I'm going to tell you, the people, of why I changed my name. And if I happen to have the chance to say it, I'll say it tomorrow. But it, it's because throughout the life search that I've been in and the research that I've done and the questions I've had about existence throughout my life has brought me on this path. Like each one of you, you have a path in life that you're going to go through. But there's some people that are born and they're born with it. And they're born with this light because we understand that this is where we come from. This is not, and speaking to myself, I'm not speaking about you, but I am speaking to people who come to the channel who do possess light, because light knows that we're part of a network and we don't even have to one another. We speak telepathically. And a lot of you are not able to understand this, but then again, a lot of the video isn't for you. But that was the explanation, that, this path, and then we get to the path, that's where the name was changed, because like I said, if you take that last name that I had before, it came from the Crosby Landfill Company, or it's the Crosby Land Company in Alabama as well as South Carolina, and for everyone that bears that last name, that comes from that plantation. And you're not going to keep me a slave. It's bad enough you enslave my children, your children, and their children's children, and my parents and foreparents and before them. You've enslaved everyone. So you're not going to keep me a slave, and this is why my name is Jebediah Muladi. So once I reached that ascension point to know who I was, because anyone that knows me knows I called Jebediah is my email. So it wasn't something that just said, hey, let me just do this. No, it was my email. It's my name. And I've always told people who are close to me, I said Jebediah. I said, one day I'm going to change my name. And, those people who, when it did happen, the only one who was surprised about it was my mother, and I said it to her. The only one who was surprised about it. Um, but everyone else knew. They knew because I've always said it. So once I've ascended, I'm still ascending. And now I'm ascending into something different. And this is why I say to people, light, you know where your light is because you're no longer able to not function around other people. You feel vibration so much that you can literally read thoughts. And like I said, that's when that's when you're granted the right to know that you lived before. And when in that life, my name was Jebediah. I never knew what my last name was. I just knew that Jebediah was me. So, still ascending. Now this is where I'm trying to take you. Not to ascend in my way. Like I said, everyone has their own path. But for the people of light, as well as the people who come in to watch this video, we're living in a land of delusion. So the topic of this video is called Whoever Gave You the Permission. And then it has in parentheses, delusion over reality. So the easiest way to bring you on this page and why this light, this information is so important is because these things are happening right now and they're going to intensify. So it's better to see these things and know these things and know what your role and your responsibility is within these situations in order to, to ascend, because that's what we all want to do. We want to ascend. And there's people who want to go to heaven. Heaven is not ascension. Heaven just to turn around and to continue to do this same process of what's been happening. Death, life, death, rebirth, earth collapses, everything falls apart, new world power comes up. Doing this, we've been doing this since we time. This is what tells us that we've been deluded, and we've been deluded by a group of people. And these are what I call intellectual dummies. And these are the ones that you see on your news, the ones who have all the money, the ones who sit up like they know everything. But, for you as humans, us as not humans, us as earthlings, um, humans are genetic. Earthlings are native to the land. So this is going to use that word earthling and not human. When I use the word human, it means because that's what that person represents in the mindset and the soul and the vibration from that or a situation. They would be human and not earthlings, because earthlings work within harmony with the universe as well as the earth itself. So let's get back to these intellectual dummies. Um, Number one, years and years of wasted thought, and I'm gonna give you an example of this, and the penalties of that intellectual dummy thought. Now, the way I've explained this to you is take a group of people, 50 people, group of 50 people, and they're on a trail and they're hiking and they all got different camps set up, but they're all in the same area. So, a storm, and they're like, wait a minute, we can't make it back to our vehicles. We got to get to higher ground. They said, well, okay, if we get to what higher ground, we haven't been up on those trails before. We don't know where they're going to go. All we know is go up. So they go up on top of this mountain, and the valley starts flooding. So once it settles down, they're stuck on that mountain for like 2 days. So no cell phone communication. All they did was go out there to do this nature thing. Everything electrical was left behind. It wasn't something part of the trip. So 50 people, they're on top of that mountain. The water settles. So come down off of the mountain and the trail is washed away. So, now the people are like, well, wait a minute, how are we going to, make it out? And there's one person saying, well, I remember coming this way. And another person says, well, I remember coming this way. Another person says, well, I went over there because I know I went into the bathroom over there. And that's right next to the trail over here. So long story short, one person rises up in the group and he's like, look, I was a chapter, special forces, and I did this, and whenever we were out in harsh terrain, I could look at the sun and I know exactly what to do. I know how to build a compass, all prehistoric stuff. Now, remember, there was nothing electrical that these people bought. So the 50 people love what they hear. They love all that validation and accolades and everything else. So they're like, okay, you're going to lead us. And there's one person who stands off to the side and says, hey, I got a map. And the other person's like, no, we don't need that. That's the winch. Plus, you can't tell it. No, on this map it tells you, which where fruit trees are, where water is, just in case we can't make it back in time. We can get fresh water. It tells us all this stuff is on and a shelter midway through. But if we head this way, we can make it. But all the people are over here listening to this delusional rhetoric because it sounds so good. So they follow that guy. The guy takes off, says, just going with the map. I'll work and I'll send help. Whoever makes it out, I'll send help. So he goes his way and they go their way. And as they're going along, everything gets confusing because now people are starting to say, wait a minute, we came through here before. You're taking us in circles. Another person's like, well, I need to use the bathroom. Another person's like, well, I'm thirsty. Another person's like, well, I'm hungry. Then another person says, hey, some of my nature bars out of my bag. I don't have any food. You know what I mean? And now all this stuff is breaking apart just based on following this delusional, intellectual dummy. Paperwork that means nothing. Wasted thoughts and the penalties of that thought, but it's the penalties of the people who also followed this individual as the person with the map is making his way. Matter of fact, he's right down at the creek right now, water filling his canteen. But hey, you like what you hear. So I want to give you a realistic, something you can all relate to. Because in school, we all went through science class. So now we're going to take science class. So now we're going to take, remember that famous disc that, not, was it Stephen Hawking? No, not Stephen Hawking. It was another famous physicist. The one that used to say billions of stars. Well, they've come out with this gold disc and they send it up into space. And they did this back like late 60s, early 70s, sent it, and this thing is still traveling through space. So it's like to say, if a civilization gets it, tells us everything about where we are and stuff like this. But now, in our present day and age, even though that thing's still going out there, wasted thought and the penalties of that thought into dummies. And then we follow, just like the people followed the guy in the woods. Check this out. They say, I was watching a program the other day, and they said one of the physicists, one of the brain dummies, a highly paid dummy, says, well, maybe the reason we're not reaching the aliens is because maybe we have to try this, or maybe we have to do that, and maybe do this, but we're going to send all this billions of dollars up with this new technology, hoping that we can in some way communicate, or at least find out where the signal was coming from. Now I want to say to you this: if aliens out there, if anything is out there, they gave us our language, the language that we speak right now. Matter of fact, the English language is alien. It's alien to this planet. Look it up for yourself if you think I'm telling you. The English language is alien to this planet. And the reason it is because think about how simple it is. Anyone from anywhere can learn English in like 2.2 seconds. Tell me any country that you can go to and pick up any language 2.2. Take Asia, for instance. Asia has what, like 8 to 13 dialects? Just go from place to place and pick it up. But I can guarantee you those different dialects that they speak, they can all come here in 1.1 second and learn anywhere in the world. That tells you who is running everything that we see. These intellectual dummies that feed us all this garbage, stuff that we can't use, stuff that you pay so much money for education and everything else. And then you go to college, and it's not even just studying outside of school. You're learning that what you're learning in school is not, half of it's not true. Half of it, most of it is based on lies. Another third of it is propaganda and brainwashing. The only value that you're going to get from an educational system is reading and math, point blank. Anything outside of that is useless. And the reason is because how many people in college and are actually doing what they wanted to do, the vision of what they wanted to do when they came out of college. I'll wait. I'll wait. You say, oh, well, I know someone that did. Well, there's over a million, maybe 2 million, maybe 3 million who don't know anyone. So the percentage of the people who are getting this and aren't getting these opportunities are like a needle in a haystack. And the thing is, again, we're living under delusion. It's like we're following that person into the woods. So again, think about the aliens, the person sitting there getting paid all these tens of thousands of dollars to sit there and feed this stuff to you. Now, people who came here genetically altered us, which is a fact and which is also true and which is also taught in science, but they don't tell you who did it. They just say somewhere along the line, oh, this is missing and this Y chromosome are spliced in some way. It happened. They were too unintelligent. No, it's because the people you sitting here trying to send messages to, they've been here the whole time. And the only ones that you're sitting here playing these games with is people like you and me who can't open our eyes. I know this is kind of long, but bear with me because, like I said, this is knowledge. This is what's really happening around you right now. So, who gave you the permission? And this goes out to those intellectual dummies as well as the fallen ones, the ones who sit here and people are praising them, running around, treating them as God, and they're not gods. They're the ones that came from a war-torn planetary system. All these are facts. They were cast down to here. They can't even go to their homeland. This is why they're within our solar system. So for people who don't know what's really taking right now, this ain't the channel for you. Because for people who really, really know that these fallen ones, these Nephilim, these people from all these different religions, whether you want to call them jinn, aliens, what have you, they've been here. Their gatekeepers are on full alert exposed to this because, like I said, and was content creators with like, you know that you're being followed, you know that you're being monitored, and you say to yourself, how do they know I'm here? How do they know I'm there? It's not electronically always. It's your vibration. It's your light. They know who you are. The fallen know who you are because now you're on their vibration. We're on a higher vibration than the human experience. We've resorted back to our earth nature, which opened up our third eye. And now that our third eye is open, they see it. They see us like we see them. So yeah, I walk around with the body cam, and I tell people, and I say it to you as well, the ones that have lighters, but the people who are every day who's watching this. Get yourself a body cam, whether it's in your glasses, whether it's like a lapel. Get it and always carry it because at 9 out of 10, you'll be surprised who. You will be surprised, and you'll be surprised at how, like, when I view what's going on here, because it goes to the cloud. So when I view it, I sit back and I be like, oh, this person was, because you're doing different things, so you don't expect for someone to be standing there with just like stuff like that, like they want to do harm to you. And this is what I've actually seen, where you catch people and they're looking at you and it's not a lost look, it's a look with hatred. And that's the person. If you go back to my videos, those are the fallen ones. This is how you know that you're ascended. You've already ascended even though you're living. So, you say, well, what do I need to do now with all these things that up? And this is for everyone as well as people with life, is to keep your heart. And, you understand what it is, what I mean by the heart, because you wouldn't possess this light if you didn't. So, for the people who don't understand it, is you have to keep your heart pure, and you're being judged. We're all being judged right now on what it is that we condone. So you see the violence, and you got people, you're at a group of people are sitting there, and you know that the information this person is saying to all these other people is straight out lie. You know this, and so do some of the people that are in there. But everybody stays shut. You're condoning it. That's where you have to make the choice to say, you know what, I'm going to get up and just walk out of the room. And I'm not going to come in here, this break room, or, this meeting room, or whatever, when this person is here, because I don't condone, a person will come to you. Be like, hey, did I do something wrong? No, you just said something to those people that was incorrect. So, I kind of disagreed with it. So therefore, I moved away from it, because if you want me to truth about what you said, then I'd be more than happy to explain it. And, we can go forward. We're living in this type of time right now, because that's how you're being tested. It is about throwing money at you, throwing fame and notoriety. All those things are coming to you, and it's coming to everyone. This is what I say. They're printing so much paper money up right now, you can literally throw it on the ground. It has no value outside of here, this country, I should say. Keep yourself, and, it's what you condone. And who would have thought that it would have been so simple, to ascend to a higher plane? And it was based on waking up to what's going on around you, and, to move forward. And with that, everyone, have a great day. Hopefully you can get something from this topic. And lastly, the people who were in the woods, and we'll give you the end of the story. The people who were still in the woods, the other guy, the one I told you he had filled his campings up, he already left. He's in a hotel down the street, and was coming to go and get the people that's still up in the mountains. So those people were more lost than, when they first had gotten from where they had got stuck. They ended up farther up. They ended up lost even farther. People who were going after them, knew where they were. So, this is what happens when you follow delusion. And the penalty was not only for, the man who sat there, instead of working with the map to say, hey, I'll take the map, you look at the map, I'll, survey the area, I'll look for, different things, gather what we need so we can make our way out, working together as a whole. We don't do that in this age. So therefore, all those people who got what they like to hear, they followed this man, and this man took them out. And they ended up getting rescued by the guy they didn't want to hear nothing from. So that's between people, humans, and earthlings. And with that, everyone, men, women, children around the world, may you have the most beautiful day, may you have an awesome day, and may your goals come to fruition. And those goals will make humanity, or make our existence, and make our world a better place for all people, all living, as well as animals and plants and water and everything else. So with that, everyone, peace and blessings.